Game 7, 44 seconds left. I don't know. If it's all about circumstance. Chris Paul's never played in the NBA Finals.
Oh, okay. It's all about circumstance. But you want Gallinari taking that free throw, Game 7.
59 in a row? That's absurd. It's just absurd. Okay, so it had been the Lu Dort Memorial Game. I love Lu Dort. I have tweeted about him before. I have said Sam Presti strikes again. Chip off the block of R.C. Buford in San Antonio.
Right.
Sam Presti is always, like R.C. Buford, finding that guy that nobody else seems to know about.
Right.
So Lu Dort played 1 year at Arizona State, where James Harden obviously played. And what did Lu Dort do in his 1 year? He was the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. And he made first-team All-Defense Pac-12. He made second-team All-Pac-12.
He was Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay, so wait a second. He went undrafted, and the Thunder stole him, and they sort of stashed him in the G League for much of this year. Not much, but a part of this year. And all of a sudden, the first time I saw him play, I said, that kid can play.
He built like a football player.
He's a strong safety. He's 6'3", 220. In all the years I have watched James Harden, a revolutionary, game-changing offensive player, I have never seen anybody defend him better than Lu Dort defends him. I believe they have played against each other pickup games at Arizona State off-season because obviously they both went there.
Right.
And there's something about this kid where he beats him to the spot every time. James Harden can't get past him.
Right.
James Harden can get past anybody. Obviously, with the threat of the step-back three, he puts you on skates, and he beats you right-handed or left-handed to the basket. And Lu Dort will not let him get an inch either way.
Right.
I've never seen... He's doing it with stoutness and quickness because he's so wide. James is like, I can't find a crease.
Yeah.
He's beating me to the spot every time. He's heading me off at the pass every time.
He slides well. He has great lateral movement, Skip, but at 220 pounds, he's not easily dislodged from his spot. And so that's what James normally could do. He can normally get separation, dip his shoulder, and the kid is right there. Like I said, he's built like a football player. He's not, you look at his shoulders, those are not basketball shoulders.
Nope. So Lu Dort was also dominating the game on the offensive end.
He was.
And just for the record, in this series so far, up to last night, he had shot 7 for 38 from 3. That's 18%. During the regular season, he was a 29.7 three-point shooter.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the game plan going to say about Lu Dort? Let him shoot.
Yes.
Let him shoot. And Lu Dort has the highest arc of any three-point shooter in the league. He just launches these moon balls. And last night, who knew?
It's going in or he's missing by a mile.
He could miss them by a mile. But they started to rain from heaven right through the hoop. He makes 6 three-point shots and scores 30 points. How often is Oklahoma City going to be able to trust and depend that? Nothing. You're never going to get that again.
There's only been 2, before Lu Dort, there's only been 2 guys, 21 or younger, to score 30 points in a Game 7. You might have heard of them. One is Kobe Bryant, the other is LeBron James. Lu Dort is in that company now, Skip. That's going to be a trivia question one day.
Have mercy. So he is the reason they're afloat. They're in the game. And I told you yesterday, if Oklahoma City can somehow hang in this until the last couple of minutes, I'm figuring Oklahoma City's going to find another way to win.
Yes.
So let's get to that final possession, and let's look at what James Harden did. Was he pouting? Did he go into his shell on defense? No, he's playing his tail off on defense, even though he can't scratch on offense.
Right.
He's frustrated and tormented, but now let's see this last play unfold. Here we go. Chris Paul, he's got nowhere to go, and he gives it up to Shai Gilgeous.
Almost got it stolen by Russ.
And all of a sudden, look at James. He was guarding Steven Adams, and he had to wait until the last split second to leave Steven, because if he leaves him too early, Shai Gilgeous is going to just lob for a dunk. Look at this. James is guarding the center, and at the last second, he bolts sprinter right out of the blocks. And again, who has been fouled the most in NBA history on three-point shots? Who understands how to draw a foul on a three-point shot? James Harden.
Right.
He's the ultimate foul drawer on three-point shots. Well, conversely, he's the ultimate, I know how not to foul on a three-point shot.
Well,
so look what he did. He went sideways, and he uses his left arm, but he makes sure he completely missed Dort's body. He goes completely sideways to block it.
The thing is with him is because he's left-hand dominant, he's a left-handed shooter, and Dort is right-handed, it's the perfect scenario. So he doesn't have to run towards his body.
But the left is actually your off arm.
Yeah.
You'd think you'd go more with your right, but he knows if I go with my right, I'm going to foul him.
More times than not, Skip, you're going to try and block the shot with your dominant hand.
Okay, I got that, but it's more savvy and sly to try to bend,
to the side.
you know, to angle left a little bit and use your left to block it. And this is the hottest hand on the court. Lu Dort has the ball in his hands, and number 7 is about to happen.
But guess what he had saw earlier in the earlier game? He saw 2 situations that got somebody in trouble because they went straight on and they ended up fouling him.
Yeah, I don't know if he saw it, but again,
he probably saw it or heard about it.
It's highly possible. But
That's
to get
perfect.
a clean block with not even a hint of a foul, there's no body touch at all, and then avoid the throwback bounce, although Dort had already stepped out of bounds, so he was already out of bounds. But again, this is James Harden. James Harden made a defensive play to save the game.
Skip, you remember a couple of years ago, Manu got James Harden with the same block. He got it from back blocking with the left hand.
That was all Manu ever did. This is a new guy. This is new James.
James Harden is what makes this defense go. Because if you look at Covington plays defense, P.J. Tucker plays defense. Now, Russ is not a defensive guy, but it's James Harden.
Russ will play hard.
Yeah, because, Skip, your leader has to buy in. James Harden has to buy in and says, okay, I got to scrap here. I got to get on the floor and get some of these loose balls also. You just can't have 2 of your 5 on the floor getting loose balls. So when he bought in, as you mentioned, deflection, steals, blocking shots, now it's contagious. Give him credit. Like I said, he found another way to impact the game, even though his offensive game was not there. And had he not made this, Skip, considering he was 4-15 and the way he shot the 3 ball, he would have been getting crushed this morning, and rightfully so.
Okay, and guess who else would have been crushed this morning? If I look at the 4th quarter box score, his partner in, so to speak, crime, Russell Westbrook, in the 4th quarter, goes 1 for 8. How many wild drive shots just banged up off the went Westbrook off the rim, and that would have come under scrutiny. But James on defense saved the day.
He did.
And then I'm going to give Russ credit because Oklahoma City, the clutchest team in basketball this year, had one last inbounds from their end of the court with 1.8 seconds left to maybe create another 3 for, who knows, Lu Dort. And they can't get the ball in bounds. And Shai Gilgeous tries, and Russ gets a hand on it. Russ gets a hand on it first, and PJ goes and snags it.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay, that's defense. That's the Houston Rockets playing defense. They couldn't even get the ball in bounds.
You used 2 timeouts. You used 2. And the best play you came up with was Steven Adams going away from the basket at 7 foot tall.
Again, Mark Jackson was making the point. I think Tim Legler made it after the game also. It just looked like Steven Adams would wheel to the basket because they have nobody his size. They're guarding him with 6'5" people.
And here's the thing, Skip. If you go back and look at it, P.J. Tucker is fronting him with nobody behind him because Covington is way over.
How tall is P.J.? Maybe 6'4"-ish?
Give him 6'5" just to be nice.
Maybe?
Steven Adams is 7 foot tall.
He's 7 feet
So there's nobody behind him, and a 6'5" is fronting a 7 foot.
I just kept thinking they're going to lob it up for a dunk at the buzzer to win the game.
Because the tie the game, because it would have been tied.
That's right. But again, the clock isn't going to start until he touches the ball. So if